Four frenzy. We now have the finalists for the National Championship of Men's College Basketball.
A special surprise, what a team of students give their teacher.
And a legend retires, commemorating the amazing career of Teron Armstead. All of this and more on the sideline.
Hello South Florida and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your South Florida teams. I'm Rosaura Mendoza.
I'm Mia Florian and the Sideline starts now. One game left in the college basketball season. After a Final Four for the ages, Florida and Houston are set up for a champion clash tonight. But first, let's dive into each game.
In the Florida Urban Thriller, Walter Clayton Jr. went off with 34 points, powering the Gators' comeback over sect rivals. Auburn 79-73. Florida overcame being down 8 points at halftime. This will be the team's first appearance in the championship since 2007.
And the nightcap ended in a heartbreak for the potential #1 pick in the upcoming draft. Despite Cooper Flagg's 27-point game, Duke fell short to Houston as the Cougars came back with a miracle finish. Houston rallied after tailing by 6 with less than 30 seconds left to make it to the final, which will tip tonight at 9 p.m.
And someone who was able to enjoy the Final Four was a teacher who got gifted tickets to go in a spontaneous and moving act from his students.
Sideline's Julian Lescano has more on the touching story.
A moment of pure anticipation
places everybody
as a group of 30 teenagers are crowded into a room for a one-of-a-kind surprise. After missing an opportunity to go to the Elite Eight due to a school conflict.
And we were truly blessed to have you as our teacher.
Students at Olathe Northwest High School came together to try to raise enough money to send their journalism teacher Jeff Cooper to the Final Four in San Antonio.
We're going to send you to...
Because they say teachers mean a lot, and this one is special.
Gives so much to our program and so much to us.
I got really emotional. I mean, because I love these kids so much.
He teaches us more about life and more than he does really about journalism.
A trip worth thousands and thousands of dollars to where the only homework the students required of him were pictures.
For me, it's like a dream come true, and that was just a really, really special moment.
Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Julian Lescano.
In a heartfelt announcement, Teron Armstead, the rock of the Miami Dolphin offensive line, declared his retirement Saturday night, ending his successful 12-year NFL career. Armstead, who signed a 5-year contract with the Dolphins in 2022, has been the key piece of Miami's offense, providing elite protection and leadership. The 5-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion leaves behind a legacy of dominance, consistency, and dedication. His decision to retire marks the end of a stellar career, but his impact of Miami Lions will be felt for years to come. Big shoes to fill for the Dolphins moving forward.
After riding the high of a solid 6-game win streak, the Miami Heat fell short again, suffering yet another loss, this time to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo took over the night with 36 points, leading the Bucks to their 121-115 win in overtime. As always, Bam Adebayo stepped up for Miami, putting up 31 points in the loss. And despite playing without star guard Tyler Hero due to a thigh injury, the Heat never trailed by more than 7 points throughout the game.
Tough night in Detroit for the Cats. Despite a late third-period goal, the Panthers fell 2-1 to the Red Wings. Detroit goalie Cam Talbot stole the show with 32 saves, including a clutch stop in the final seconds. Without Matthew Tkachuk, Alexander Barkov, and Sam Reinhart, Florida's offense struggled to find its bite, but revenge could come fast. The Stews face off again Thursday in Sunrise. The Panthers have already clinched a spot in the postseason, but a higher or lower seed is still certain in play.
The Miami Marlins did not disappoint on Saturday after tying their series against the Atlanta Braves. Matt Mervis absolutely showed out, tallying his first 2 home runs of the season, including one in the first inning. The first homer was a 2-run blast, and the second one was a solo shot that gave the Marlins a lead. After Friday's 10-0 loss, the Marlins pitching stepped up in a nice bounce-back win. The final score was Marlins 4, Braves 0. The third series game was postponed earlier Sunday due to weather conditions and will be made up on August 9th.
Inter Miami bounces back from their loss last week with a stronger showing at home, drawing 1-1 with Toronto FC at Chase Stadium. It was a frustrating game and even tough. It wasn't the win they wanted. There was still a big moments to take away, including another milestone for Lionel Messi. The first half had Inter's final edge. 2 goals were disallowed, including one from Messi, both callbacks for offside. Toronto scored minutes before the halftime break, but then Messi promptly responds seconds before the whistle in the 5th minute of stoppage time. The goal marked his 44th goal contribution in MLS regular season play, officially surpassing Gonzalo Higuain to become the club's all-time leader in the category. And he did it in 29 games, which is 38 fewer than Higuain. Next they face off LAFC in the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinals right back at the Chase Stadium.
This past weekend, LIV Golf returned to Trump National in Doral for a 4th consecutive time. Caplin News reporter Don Booth has the story.
I'm at the LIV Golf Miami event, hosted at the iconic Trump National Doral course, where top golfers compete to see who's best.
Fans from all walks of life are flooding the legendary Trump National Doral, home of the iconic Blue Monster, for the biggest LIV Golf showdown of the season. With 54 players and 13 teams in the mix, the stakes are high, the vibes are electric, and Miami is showing out for the championship.
Seeing more sports events coming to Miami, I think it makes the city more vibrant, and that's really great things for the economy, and it's a lot of fun. My boyfriend's out here and we golf, and it just makes my love for the sport grow.
Rip, Justin, he's Walter, obviously Ken and my favorite. So they do want the trip to be my choice.
I just got into golf this year, so I got everything done since I walked around and felt like some of the golfers that
What a weekend. Intense competition, electric crowds, and non-stop action. The energy was unmatched and the memories unforgettable.
And that wraps up an incredible day at the LIV Golf Miami event with incredible swings, unforgettable moments, and fans who bring the hype. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Don Booth.
Well, Rosaura, let's turn into our W's and L's of the week. My biggest W has to be the UFC's announcement of Kayla Harrison's title shot fight against Juliana Peña in UFC 316. Since UFC 307 in October of 2024, when Peña got the original belt, Harrison has been plotting, and the moment has finally come where she can prove that she deserves that belt. She's a champion of the fighting league, and she also has 2 Olympic gold medals, so I think that now is the time that she can prove that she deserves that belt in the biggest stage of MMA. What's your W?
Well, Mia, that's big news in the UFC and the UFC world. Now let me tell you how excited I am for my W this week. A moment of glory for the Yukon Huskies, who are now the women's national champion, taking down South Carolina with a powerful 82-59 victory in the championship game. It was a game full of grit, heart, and determination. AZ's squad was sensational, leading the charge, while Gino Uriengman once again proved why he's one of the best, greatest coaches in the game. The Huskies showcased their resilience and championship pedigree, securing the first national title since 2016. What a performance!
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
I'm glad they got it. Well, now, unfortunately, it's time to move on to our biggest L's of the week. I'll start with mine, which is Real Madrid's loss on Saturday. They fell short by 1 goal, losing 2-1 to Valencia in a La Liga match. The result was extremely unexpected, especially being that Valencia is at the bottom of the Liga standings and fighting to avoid relegation. I mean, how can a team that is second in their table fall to a team that's 15th? The worst part is that in the first half, Real Madrid was given a penalty that Vinicius Jr. missed. So fans were quick to put the blame on him for missing the chance to tie the game. But at least he scored later on in the match, right?
Well, Mia, that was certainly an expecting L for Real Madrid. And after being excited for the Husky victory as my W, but now I have to tell you my L. Well, it's been a tough week for the Inter Miami, as they not only suffered a heartbreaking loss in their last match, they couldn't bounce back last night, setting for a frustrating 1-1 draw. Despite the presence of Lionel Messi, the team couldn't get the result they needed. Even though it was a tough week for them, we are still expecting the best from them.
Well, up next, stop stop me if you've heard this before. The Bulls and the Heat in the play-in. That's what it's looking like for a third straight year. We bring in our hoops analyst to talk about Miami's chances of advancing. Sideline will take a timeout and be back after the break.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is the third year in a row that the Heat will face the Chicago Bulls in the play-in, and we have Sideline's Anthony Cruz to break down the action. Anthony, will the Heat make it a trifecta against Chicago?
This is indeed the rubber match that everyone has been looking forward to. But I mean, yeah, look, what I love about the play-in, but what also scares me about it, is that it has this March Madness feel to it, one and done. But wait, so what you really need is an unsung hero to step up, and we saw that 2 years ago. Remember, our Cinderella run in the playoffs was almost over before it even started against the Bulls, until Max Strus stepped in and saved that game in the final 2 minutes. So what I'm trying to say is that we projected Tyler Hero and Bam will have a good game. Hopefully Tyler can switch some narratives about his playoff performance, and Kobe White and Josh Giddey, which, by the way, what a story, Josh Giddey, from considered unplayable, getting benched at the end of the season last year, now becoming the engine of that offense. We expect them to have great games, but who are going to be the guys that step up? And I think, for example, for the Heat, Alec Burks has been a very streaky player. Duncan Robinson can have one of his vintage playoff games where he hits 5+ threes and saves a day. But I'm also excited for is the rookie matchup, maybe the rookie step up. Matas Buzelis, 6'9", 6'10" wing, very athletic, has shown that he has the frame and the ability to score in this league. And versus Kel'el Ware, which Nikola Vucevic is no slouch, but Ware has the advantage over him in both size and athleticism. So again, really the key is who's going to step up, who's going to be the hero of the day, and that's really what the play-in is all about.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Anthony, if they win, they still have to face the loser of Hawks Magic for a shot at the next round. So tell me, how do you see those potential matchups shaping up?
Yeah, so the Hawks have actually also been a postseason rival of the Heat these past couple of seasons, and I think the Heat have very much discovered how to guard Trae Young in the postseason. You throw a big wing at him, say Andrew Wiggins, I predict that's who it's going to be, and then you funnel him into a double with Bam or into a switch, and you cut their offense there at the source. And it's Trae Young. He's going to beat you sometimes. He's one of the best point guards in the league. But more than none, if you can contain Trae Young, you can contain the Hawks. And as for the Orlando Magic, in tradition for whenever the Heat face off, this is going to be an LA Fitness game, a game from the 1980s. The score will be 79-81. The Magic love to stifle teams offensively. They are third in defensive rating in the NBA, and we know that the Heat love to get into offensive slumps. So honestly, it'll be, again, not just a Tyler and Bam game that we'll need, but we'll need the shooters to step up. We'll need them to continue this efficiency that they were on during that 6-game winning streak.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, no. Well, now it's time for a look ahead at what's upcoming this week.
We have Mauro Rueda in the studio with his picks of the week.
We're going in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, guys. Let's get into it. Tonight, the Miami Heat will face the Philadelphia 76ers at home as the regular season comes closer to its end. Despite suffering 2 heartbreaking losses in the past couple games, the Heat are officially in the play-in tournament and find themselves 2 games behind the 8th seed. With Bam Adebayo scoring 31 points last game and Davion Mitchell coming into his own since the trade, I believe they will beat a 76ers squad that has major injuries and is already out of playoff contention. Over in the MLB, the Miami Marlins will go up against the New York Mets once again, this time at Citi Field. The Marlins, who were 0-9 at this point last year, have had a surprising start to the season with a winning record of 5-4. However, the Mets already won the first series between the two teams, and with stars such as Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor, I think they will claim the victory in New York. Let's head to the ice, where we have a matchup between two of the top teams in the league, as the Florida Panthers will take on the Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow night in Sunrise. The Maple Leafs are on a 4-game win streak and came out on top the last time these two teams met. Meanwhile, the Panthers have already clinched a playoff spot and will look to win back-to-back championships, but they have lost their last 5 games. I am still picking Florida and Sergei Bobrovsky to keep Toronto at bay this time and shift the momentum ahead of the postseason. That's all the time we have for Game Picks this week. I'm Mauro Rueda, back to the studio.
Just a reminder, if you want to keep up with more updates, fun segments, and more from our crew, you can follow our Instagram for all things Sideline. Follow us at sideline.caplin. That's it for today. I'm Mia Florian.
I'm Rosaura Mendoza, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on the Sideline.